Close your eyes now and let the weight of your body settle into the surface beneath you. Feel the way your shoulders rest against whatever holds you, sinking just a little deeper with every slow exhale. Your arms lie heavy at your sides, fingers curling slightly as if the earth itself is gently pulling them downward. Notice how your legs feel rooted, anchored by an invisible force that keeps you perfectly still. Even your head finds its place, cradled and supported, as if the world has shaped itself just for this moment. Breathe in now, slowly, deeply, drawing air all the way down into the lowest part of your lungs. Feel the coolness of the breath as it enters your nostrils, traveling through the gentle pathways of your body. Hold it for just a heartbeat, letting that quiet stillness spread through every cell. And as you exhale, let it be twice as long, twice as slow, as if you could stretch this moment forever. With every breath out, your muscles soften just a little more, your bones melting like warm honey into the surface beneath you. Now bring your attention to the rhythm of your breath, the natural ebb and flow that requires no effort at all. Imagine that with each inhale, you're drawing in calm, pure, golden light that fills your entire being. With every exhale, you release anything that isn't serving you, letting it drift away like mist in the morning sun. Your breath becomes a gentle tide, washing over you again and again, smoothing away any remaining tension. You don't need to change anything. Just observe how perfectly your body knows how to breathe. As you settle deeper, allow your awareness to expand beyond your body, just for a moment. Imagine you're lying in a vast cavern where the walls themselves seem to breathe with you. The air carries the faintest hint of crushed quartz and ancient copper, a scent that feels both familiar and timeless. Far above, bioluminescent light pulses softly, like fireflies caught in slow motion. Every breath you take seems to resonate with these walls, creating a harmony that vibrates through your very bones. Now feel how the floor beneath you isn't solid like stone, but more like the surface of a quiet pond. Each time you exhale, your body makes the gentlest ripple, spreading outward in perfect circles. Gravity here feels different, lighter, as if you're being cradled rather than held down. You could stay like this forever, suspended in this perfect balance of comfort and stillness. The walls around you hum at 40 hertz, a frequency that wraps around your mind like a warm embrace. With every breath, you drift deeper into this sanctuary of sound and sensation. Your thoughts slow down, becoming softer, more fluid, like clouds drifting across a summer sky. There's no need to follow them, no need to hold onto anything at all. Each thought that arises simply dissolves back into the quiet, leaving your mind clear and spacious. You're safe here, completely safe, wrapped in this cocoon of perfect stillness. Now imagine that with each exhale, you're releasing any last traces of mental fog. Your mind becomes sharper, clearer, like a mountain lake reflecting the sky above. Every breath in brings fresh energy. Every breath out carries away anything that doesn't serve your clarity. You can feel your focus sharpening, like a blade being gently honed on a whetstone. Your thoughts align, becoming more precise, more purposeful, without any effort at all. This is your natural state, the place where your mind works at its absolute best. The walls around you continue their gentle vibration, supporting every thought, every connection. Your awareness expands and contracts with each breath, like the tide rolling in and out. Solutions to problems appear effortlessly, as if they were always there waiting for you to notice. Your creativity flows freely, unimpeded by doubt or distraction. You're perfectly balanced between deep relaxation and razor-sharp focus. Your body rests while your mind soars, both functioning at their absolute peak. Every breath reinforces this perfect equilibrium, this beautiful harmony of being. You could stay here for hours, days, and it would always feel like just the right amount of time. This is your sanctuary, your personal labyrinth of breathless echoes, where everything works exactly as it should. Now, as you continue to breathe, notice how your perception of time begins to soften. Seconds stretch into moments of perfect clarity. Minutes dissolve into timeless awareness. Your mind processes information faster, yet you're never overwhelmed by it. Each thought connects to the next with effortless precision, like notes in a perfectly composed symphony. Your cognitive abilities are enhanced, yet it feels completely natural, completely you. This is the power of this frequency, this sacred space you've created within yourself. The walls continue their gentle hum, supporting every mental leap, every creative spark. Your body remains perfectly still, perfectly relaxed, while your mind explores new territories of thought. You're both the observer and the creator in this moment, completely in control, yet completely free. Every breath reinforces this perfect state of being, this beautiful balance of mind and body. As you prepare to return to your normal awareness, know that this clarity will stay with you. The sharpness of your mind, the precision of your thoughts, the effortless flow of your creativity. They're not going anywhere. They're becoming part of you, your new natural state. When you're ready, you can begin to wiggle your fingers and toes, gently returning to the room. But for now, just rest here, in this perfect moment of absolute clarity and deep peace. Finian Mist's voice drifts into the quiet like a slow exhalation of ancient stone, cool and smooth against the edges of your awareness. Each word settles into the spaces between your thoughts, not pressing, not demanding, but simply existing, like the first breath of air after stepping into a cavern where time has forgotten its own name. The resonance, the hum, the anchor, it is already here, woven into the fabric of the silence, vibrating at the frequency of deep trust, just beneath the threshold of hearing. You do not need to listen for it. It is already listening to you. Let your eyes close if they haven't already, or if they are still slightly open, let the lids grow heavy, like smooth river stones worn down by centuries of gentle current. There is no rush. There is no need to hold onto anything. The walls of the labyrinth of breathless echoes are already holding you, pulsing softly with bioluminescent breath. Their surfaces alive with the slow, rhythmic expansion of living geodes. You can feel the coolness of the air against your skin, not sharp, not biting, but smooth and mineral, rich, like crushed quartz, suspended in still water. This air does not need to be inhaled with effort. It simply flows in, effortless, like water filling the hollows of a shell. Now bring your attention to the very edges of your body, where the air meets your skin, and notice how even the smallest hairs on your arms, your neck, the back of your hands, are already relaxing. Each one is like a tiny filament of silicon, softening, bending slightly toward the coolness, as if the mineralization has already begun. You don't have to do anything. You don't have to try. The calcium deposits are already blooming beneath the surface, like coral forming in the quiet depths of an ocean cave. Each joint, each knuckle, each vertebra becoming smoother, heavier, more grounded. Feel the weight of this process, not as something foreign, but as something familiar, like the slow settling of sediment in a still pool. The silicon strands weave through you, invisible but present, connecting each cell to the next, like delicate filaments of glass spun by a master craftsman. They are not binding you. They are simply reminding you of what you already are. Now let your focus drift inward, deeper than the skin, deeper than the muscle, to the very cells themselves. Each cell is a tiny world, a universe unto itself. And right now, those worlds are softening, releasing the tension they've been holding without even knowing why. Imagine the cell walls, once tight and rigid, now becoming permeable, like the membrane of a soap bubble, shimmering and flexible, allowing the old, stale energy to drift away. The mitochondria, those tiny powerhouses within, are slowing their pace, their hum deepening, their rhythm syncing with the resonance of the cavern walls. They no longer need to work so hard. The anchor is already providing everything they need. Feel the calcium ions, once restless and scattered, now settling into place, like crystals forming in a supersaturated solution, each one finding its perfect alignment, its natural home. This is not a process you control. It is a process you allow. And as you allow it, the weight of your body grows heavier, not in a way that feels burdensome, but in a way that feels inevitable, like the slow descent of a leaf through still air. Now shift your awareness to the bed beneath you, or the surface you're lying upon, and notice how it is no longer just a surface. It has become something alive, something responsive, rising up to meet you as if you are sinking into warm, liquid stone. The gravity well of the labyrinth is not the same as the gravity you know. Here, gravity is not a force pulling you down. It is a presence, a gentle embrace, a slow invitation to let go. Feel the way your body is being held, not by tension, not by effort, but by the quiet certainty that you are exactly where you need to be. The bed rises up. The air thickens slightly around you, and for a moment, it feels as if you are floating in a pool of liquid mineral, suspended between the earth and the sky. The floor beneath you is not solid in the way you expect. It is more like the surface of a still pond, rippling slightly with each breath you take, each movement of your body sending out tiny waves that dissolve into the cool, smooth stone. You do not need to to hold yourself up. The labyrinth is already holding you. Now let your eyes soften even further, or if they are already closed, let the darkness behind your lids deepen, like ink spreading through water. The bioluminescent walls of the cavern are still there, pulsing softly, but their light is fading from your awareness, like the last embers of a fire cooling into ash. You do not need to see them. You do not need to see anything at all. The sense of sight is the first to fade, not because it is being taken away, but because it is no longer necessary. Your eyes have done their work. They have guided you this far, and now they can rest. Feel the weight of your eyelids, not as something heavy, but as something comforting, like the soft pressure of a warm hand resting over your eyes, shielding them from the world. The darkness behind your lids is not empty. It is full of quiet, full of stillness, full of the deep, slow rhythm of the anchor. Now shift your attention to the sounds around you, or rather, the lack of them. The resonance of the cavern walls is still there, but it is no longer a sound you hear. It is a sound you feel, vibrating through your bones, through the silicon strands weaving through your cells, through the calcium deposits blooming like coral in your joints. The hum is not something you listen to. It is something you surrender to. And as you surrender, the sense of hearing begins to soften, like a tuning fork slowly losing its vibration, fading into the background of your awareness. The sounds of the world outside the labyrinth grow distant, not because they are far away, but because they are no longer relevant. Your ears have done their work. They have brought you here, and now they can rest. The only sound that remains is the sound of your breath, slow and steady, like the rise and fall of the cavern walls themselves. Now let your awareness drift to the sense of touch, to the way your body rests against the surface beneath you. The coolness of the air, the smoothness of the stone, the slight give of the gravity well. These sensations are still there, but they are no longer sharp, no longer distinct. They are blurring together, like colors melting into one another on a wet canvas, becoming something softer, something more diffuse. Your skin is still there. You are still aware of it. But the boundaries between your body and the world around you are dissolving, like salt dissolving in warm water. The sense of touch is not being taken away. It is simply becoming something else. something more fluid, more expansive, like the feeling of being submerged in a pool of liquid mineral, where every part of you is held, supported, cradled. You do not need to feel the edges of your body. You do not need to know where you end and the labyrinth begins. And now, as the senses soften and fade, you are left with only the anchor, only the resonance, only the hum. It is not a sound. It is not a vibration. It is the absence of everything else. The labyrinth of breathless echoes is no longer a place. It is a state of being. A deep, empty darkness, not frightening, not cold, but warm and welcoming, like the space between the stars. You are not falling. You are not sinking. You are simply being held, suspended in the quiet, in the stillness, in the deep, slow rhythm of the anchor. The calcium deposits have finished their work. The silicon strands have woven their final threads. The cells have released their last traces of tension. There is nothing left to do. There is nothing left to hold on to. There is only this. And as you drift deeper, the darkness behind your eyes grows richer, deeper, more complete. It is not a darkness that obscures. It is a darkness that reveals. A darkness that holds you, cradles you, reminds you that you are safe, that you are home, that you have always been here. The anchor hums softly, not in your ears, but in your bones, in your cells, in the very core of your being. It is the sound of deep trust, the sound of surrender, the sound of letting go. You do not need to think. You do not need to move. You do not need to be anything other than exactly what you are. The labyrinth has you. The resonance has you. The darkness has you. And now, as the last traces of awareness fade, you find yourself in a place beyond words, beyond thought, beyond even the need for breath. This is the void. Not an empty void, not a lonely void, but a void that is full of possibility, full of rest, full of the deep, slow pulse of the anchor. You do not need to fear it. You do not need to resist it. This void is your home. It is where you have always been meant to be. And as you settle into it, the last traces of tension dissolve, like mist evaporating under the warmth of the morning sun. There is no beginning. There is no end. There is only this. The anchor hums. The darkness holds you. And you are safe. You are already here, where the air is thick with stillness, not the kind that presses, not the kind that weighs, but the kind that simply is. Like water so clear, it has no name. And in this clear water of rest, your breath moves, not because you command it, but because it remembers how. Each inhale is a slow tide, rising from the depth of your belly, spreading through the quiet valleys of your ribs until it reaches the shore of your collarbones. And there, it pauses, not because it hesitates, but because it understands that stillness is not an absence, but a presence, a living pause, a moment where 40 Hertz hums just beneath hearing. This is the sound of rest, not silence, but the space between notes, where melody is born, where your mind learns to breathe in rhythms older than thought, in pulses softer than heartbeat, in waves that carry no urgency. Imagine now that with each breath, you are drawing in rest itself, not as an idea, not as a concept, but as a substance, cool and weightless, like liquid silver, filling your lungs. With the first sip of this silver air, you feel it settle, not at the bottom of your lungs, but somewhere deeper, where breath becomes being, where movement becomes stillness, where doing becomes allowing. This is the place where rest lives. And as you breathe again, the silver air moves, not forced, not pushed, but flowing, like water finding its level, like light through an open door. It fills every space it finds, gently, completely. Notice how the rest spreads, beginning in your center, where your breath is deepest, then moving outward to your ribs, where they rise and fall like slow waves on a quiet shore, each movement a whisper, each whisper a permission. And as the rest continues, it moves into your shoulders, which have carried more than they needed to. Now they learn to let go. Just a little, just enough to feel the weight of rest, like warm oil poured over them, softening every edge. The rest moves down your arms, through the rivers of your veins, not rushing, not hurrying, but flowing, like honey in sunlight, each drop taking its time, each moment becoming heavier with the sweet weight of stillness. And in your hands, where so much has been held, where so much has been done, the rest settles like dust motes in sunlight, each one a tiny world of calm, each one a reminder that it is safe to let go, that it is safe to be still. Now the rest moves upward into your throat, where words have been formed, where sounds have been made. Now there is only silence, not the silence of absence, but the silence of fullness, like the moment before dawn, when the world holds its breath. And into your jaw, where tension has lived, like a quiet guest who overstayed. Now it learns to soften, to melt, to dissolve, like sugar in warm tea, each muscle remembering how to be at ease. The rest moves into your temples, where thoughts have raced, where ideas have collided. Now there is space, not emptiness, but room, like a garden after rain, where every plant has room to grow, where every thought has room to breathe. And behind your eyes, where images have flashed, where scenes have played, now there is quiet, not darkness, but soft light, like candle glow, like moonlight on water, a gentle presence that asks for nothing. As the rest deepens, you notice something new. The silver air in your lungs is not just filling you, it is becoming you, not replacing, not changing, but merging, like two rivers meeting, becoming one flow. With each breath, the boundary blurs between the air you breathe and the body that breathes it. You begin to understand that you are not separate from rest. You are rest. You are the silver air. You are the slow tide. You are the quiet valleys. And in this understanding, there is no need to do, no need to try, no need to make anything happen, because rest is already here, like the sky is always above, like the earth is always below. Rest is always within, waiting to be allowed. So you breathe, and the rest breathes with you. Each inhale, a gentle drawing in. Each exhale, a soft release, not yours to control, but yours to experience, yours to be. Notice how the 40 Hertz hum that lives beneath hearing begins to grow clearer, not louder, but more present, like the hum of a distant engine that you suddenly realize has been there all along, steady, unwavering. This is the sound of your mind in its most natural state, not racing, not searching, but resting like a lake on a windless day, perfectly still, perfectly clear, reflecting nothing, because it is complete. And as you listen, the hum spreads, not outward, but inward, into every cell, into every atom, until your entire being vibrates with this gentle frequency, this perfect pitch of rest. You realize that this is how it has always been. Not the struggle, not the effort, but this quiet hum, this silver breath, this gentle tide. This is your natural state. And in this realization, there is no resistance left, no need to hold on, no need to push away, because rest is not something to be given. It is something to be allowed. It is already yours, already within you, always waiting. So you breathe, and the rest breathes with you. Each inhale, a drawing in of silver. Each exhale, a release of all that is not needed, not forced, not rushed, but flowing like water finding its way. And as you continue, you notice how the rest is not just in your body, but all around you. Like the air itself has become thicker, softer, more present, as if the entire world has slowed to match your rhythm. This is the gift of rest, not just for you, but for everything. When you allow it, when you let it be, it spreads like ripples on water, softly, gently, touching everything it meets. So you breathe again, and with each breath, you feel more connected, not to anything specific, but to everything, to the hum beneath hearing, to the silver air in your lungs, to the slow tide in your belly, to the quiet valleys of your ribs. And in this connection, there is no separation, no boundary between you and rest, between you and the world. There is only this breathing, this being, this allowing, this perfect stillness. So you let go, not all at once, but slowly, gently, like a leaf letting go of the branch, not because it is forced, but because it is time, because it is right, because it is natural. And as you let go, you feel the rest deepen, not as something you achieve, but as something you uncover, like pulling back a curtain to reveal the light that was always there, like removing layers to find the softness underneath. This is what rest has always been. A remembering, not of something forgotten, but of something overlooked, like the sound of your own breath, like the beating of your own heart. Things so familiar, they become invisible until you remember to notice, until you remember to allow. So you breathe, and with each breath, you remember that rest is not a destination. It is a way of being, not something you reach, but something you return to again and again and again. And in this returning, you find that rest is not just in your body, but in your mind, in your thoughts, in your awareness, like the 40 Hertz hum that has always been there, steady, unwavering, a constant presence. You begin to notice how your thoughts, when they come, are slower now, gentler, like ripples on a calm lake, each one spreading, then fading, without disturbance, without urgency. And when a thought does arise, it does not pull you. It does not demand your attention. It simply is, like a leaf on water, floating, existing, then moving on, without resistance, without attachment. This is the mind in rest, not empty, but spacious, not silent, but quiet, like a library at midnight, where every book is closed, but the knowledge is still there, waiting, ready. And in in this spaciousness, you find clarity, not the sharp clarity of effort, but the soft clarity of rest, like looking through clear water, where everything is visible, but nothing is forced, where understanding comes, not from struggle, but from allowing. This is the power of rest. Not that it makes you stronger, not that it makes you smarter, but that it reminds you of what you already are. Whole, complete, enough, just as you are, in this moment. So you breathe again, and with each breath, you sink deeper into this wholeness, into this completeness, not because you are changing, but because you are remembering what has always been true, what has always been yours. And as you remember, the silver air in your lungs becomes something more, not just rest, but awareness, not just stillness, but presence, like the quiet before dawn, when the world is holding its breath, waiting for the light. This is where you are now, in this quiet, in this presence, not doing, not trying, but being, like the sky, like the earth, simply existing, simply allowing. And in this allowing, you find freedom, not the freedom to do, but the freedom to be, not the freedom from responsibility, but the freedom from struggle, the freedom to rest, the freedom to breathe, the freedom to simply be. So you breathe, and the rest breathes with you. Each inhale, a drawing in of silver. Each exhale, a release of all that is not needed, not forced, not rushed, but flowing, like water finding its way home. And as you continue, you notice how the rest is not just in this moment, but in every moment, how it is always here, always waiting, always ready, like the hum beneath hearing, like the silver air in your lungs. This is the gift of 40 Hertz. Not that it creates something new, but that it reveals what is already here, the perfect pitch of rest, the natural rhythm of being, the quiet hum of awareness that has always been within you, waiting to be heard, waiting to be allowed. So you listen, and as you listen, the hum grows clearer, not louder, but more present, like the sound of your own heartbeat when you finally stop to notice. Steady, reliable, always there. This is the sound of rest, the sound of being, the sound of allowing, not a sound to be heard with ears, but a vibration to be felt with your entire being, with every cell, with every breath, with every moment. And as you feel it, you realize that this is what you have been searching for, not out there, but in here, in the quiet, in the stillness, in the silver air that has always been yours. So you let go of the idea that rest is something to find, of the belief that stillness is something to achieve, and instead, you remember that rest is already here, that stillness is already yours, that you only need to allow it, to breathe it, to be it. And in this remembering, you find peace, not the peace of escape, but the peace of presence, not the peace of absence, but the peace of fullness, the peace of knowing that you are enough, that you have always been enough. So you breathe again, and with each breath, you sink deeper into this knowing, into this peace, into this rest, not because you are falling asleep, but because you are waking up to what has always been true, to what has always been yours. And as you wake, you notice how the world around you has slowed to match your rhythm, how the air itself has become softer, thicker, more present, as if the entire universe is breathing with you. This is the power of rest. Not that it changes you, but that it reveals you. Not that it makes you different, but that it shows you who you have always been. Whole, complete, at peace, in this moment, exactly as you are. So you breathe, and the silver air fills you, not just your lungs, but your entire being. Each inhale, a drawing in of rest. Each exhale, a release of all that is not needed, not forced, not rushed, but flowing like the tide coming in. And as the rest deepens, you feel yourself merging, not not with something outside, but with something within. With the 40 Hertz hum, with the silver air, with the slow tide, with the perfect stillness that has always been yours. This is where you are now. In this merging, in this allowing, in this remembering, not separate from rest, but one with it, not trying to find stillness, but simply being still. In this moment, exactly as you are. So you let go of the last traces of resistance, of the final whispers of doubt, and you sink deeper, softer into this rest, into this peace, into this wholeness that has always been yours. And as you sink, you notice how the silver air is no longer something you breathe, but something you are. How the 40 Hertz hum is no longer something you hear, but something you feel, vibrating through your entire being. Steady, unwavering, perfect. This is the final understanding, the deepest knowing that rest is not something to be given, not something to be achieved, but something to be allowed, something to be remembered, something that has always been here, waiting for you to simply be. So you breathe, and with each breath, you allow, you remember, you merge with the silver air, with the 40 Hertz hum, with the perfect stillness. That is your natural state. And as you merge, you realize that you have always been here, in this rest, in this peace, in this wholeness, not lost, not far away, but always present, always home. So you let go of the idea that you need to do anything, of the belief that you need to be anywhere else, and you simply are here, now, in this moment, exactly as you are. And in this being, you find the deepest rest, not the rest of sleep, but the rest of awareness, the rest of presence, the rest of wholeness, where there is nothing to do, nothing to be, except exactly as you are. Now the words begin to soften around you, like the last light of evening, melting into the quiet embrace of night. And just as the stars do not hurry to appear, you do not need to hurry to let go. The resonance continues its slow and steady work. The images that once filled your mind have drifted away like leaves on a gentle stream, leaving behind only the feeling, only the deep and quiet knowing that everything is exactly as it should be, and you are exactly where you need to be, safe and held in this moment. There is no rush, no need to move, no need to think. The hum remains, steady and sure, like the distant pulse of the ocean or the quiet rhythm of your own breath. Your body remembers this feeling. It knows the way back to peace. And with each slow and steady breath, you sink a little deeper, a little softer, into the warm and welcoming stillness that has always been waiting for you. The healing does not end when the words do. It lingers like the scent of rain on warm earth, or the memory of a favorite song playing softly in the background of your mind. This peace is yours to keep and yours to return to whenever you need it, whenever you want to feel this way again. This quiet space is here, like a door that never locks, like a light that never dims, always waiting, always welcoming. You do not have to hold on. You do not have to stay awake. The day has done its work, and now it is time to rest, to drift, to float, to let the hum carry you into the deep and gentle dark. There is nothing left to do, nothing left to fix, nothing left to prove. Just this moment, just this stillness, just this perfect and peaceful quiet, wrapping around you like a blanket. The resonance hums its final notes, softening into silence. But you know it does not truly fade. It simply becomes part of you, like the steady beat of your heart, or the quiet rise and fall of your chest. Always there. You are safe here. You are held here. You are exactly where you belong. And as the last whispers of this moment drift away, you can let go completely, trusting that tomorrow will bring its own gentle light. When you are ready, this peace is yours, always, and you can return to it whenever you wish, like stepping into a warm bath or sinking into a familiar bed. It is here, waiting, words grow softer still, like a whisper fading into silence. And as they do, you can feel your body growing heavier, your mind growing quieter, your breath growing deeper. As you drift, there is no need to listen anymore. No need to stay awake. No need to do anything at all. Just rest. Just be. Just let go. Completely. The hum has done its work. The words have guided you home. And now you can sink, softer and deeper, into the warm and welcoming dark, where there is nothing to fix, nothing to change, nothing to do. This is your time, your moment, your perfect and peaceful rest. So let the silence wrap around you. Let the stillness hold you. Let the peace carry you wherever you need to go. And when you are ready, when you feel the pull of tomorrow, you will wake, refreshed and renewed, carrying this quiet with you, like a secret you can return to whenever you need. But for now, there is only this, only the gentle rise and fall of your breath, only the deep and quiet peace that has always been yours and always will be. So let go. Sleep now. Drift softly. The quiet will catch you.